Podcast.
I got something that's going to make sure that you don't mess up your next interview. It's going to make sure that any remote session that you do, any deadlines that you have, flawless, smooth. Everybody's on the same page. I'm David Hooper. This is Big Podcast Playbook. Grow your podcast. Build your audience. If you want to do those two things, you're in the right place. That is what I help people do. Get listeners to your podcast. Make a podcast that people care about. Make a podcast that people would miss if it went away. And make more money doing it. And also for this episode, just get the thing done. Let me tell you what inspired me on this. A buddy of mine is doing a book launch. He lives in Portugal. He is coming to Nashville as part of his book launch tour. He said, hey man, coming to Nashville. We're going to meet up at 6 p.m. There's going to be a reading from the book, a discussion around some of the concepts, and then there's an after party. I said, that's great. 6 p.m. is working for me. Have I mentioned it on this podcast? For the last year, I've been waking up at 4 a.m. to produce a daily show for SiriusXM. Before I give you the punchline about my buddy's event, let me tell you what my day looks like, specifically one part of it. I'm in Nashville. I get to the studio at 5 a.m. my time. The moment I walk into that studio, I see a clock that says 6 a.m. The reason for that is because SiriusXM is coast to coast. It is a nationwide network. And if you walk into any SiriusXM studio, it doesn't matter if it's New York, Nashville, Los Angeles, Miami, Memphis, it doesn't matter where it is. You are going to see a wall clock that has Eastern time. It doesn't matter that Nashville is Central time. It doesn't matter that Los Angeles is in the Pacific time zone. You're going to see this at any network. A national network needs a single reference point so everybody moves in sync. If a show starts at 7 a.m., which the show that I'm working on right now does, that means 7 a.m. Eastern. There is no discussion about what 7 a.m. means. You want to do something similar. It does not have to be Eastern. I recommend Eastern. Even if you're not like me, on the edge of a time zone. One of those locations where, oh, I thought you were in Eastern time. They're going to think you're in Eastern time anyway. Unless everybody is in the same physical location that you are, that means if you've got anybody that is connecting remotely, you want to be on the Eastern time zone. Let me get back to my friend. I mentioned he's in Lisbon, Portugal. He's doing everything via automation. He says 6 p.m. That's noon Nashville time. He is on a completely different time zone. When I put the invite in my calendar, it says noon. And I thought, oh, great. I'm waking up at 4 a.m. Noon is perfect for me. Had I not seen that he had said 6 p.m., I would have thought it was a lunchtime meeting. When you set something up in an automated system, it is almost always going to go to whichever time zone you are in. And this can be a problem if you're like me and you switch time zones. You're working out of different time zones. You're in New York one day and Los Angeles the next. This is why I schedule everything on Eastern time. It's not just television and radio broadcast networks that do this. The president does this. When the president flies around the world, they are on Eastern time, Washington, D.C. time. If you take a cruise ship out of Miami, you sail the 7 seas, that time zone does not change. You are on Eastern time. And the reason for that is when it's time for that ship to leave, just like it's time for you to go on the air or do your interview, you need to be on the ship. There is no confusion. An hour late, even just a few minutes late, that ship has sailed. You're not ignoring where people are. You are removing friction. I know a woman, she moved from the Eastern time zone to Austin, Texas. It is in the Central time zone. So she said, oh, well, I'm in Austin. I'm going to start doing everything on Central time. That was the announcement. She made everybody else switch to her. No, you work with them, meaning how media is done is Eastern time. Of course, if you want to make it Central, if you want to make it Mountain, you want to make it Pacific, if you want to make it GMT, whatever, it doesn't matter. But you need to have a standard time and stick to it. I don't know if you've ever dealt with the half time zones. If you've ever dealt with anybody in India, Pakistan, these guys have 0.5, meaning if it's 6 p.m. my time, it might be 6:30, let's say, their time. It doesn't go 6, 7, 8, 9. It goes half hours. There's a half hour time difference. Then it gets really confusing. People try to be kind. They say, John, it's 7 p.m. for you. Lisa, 6 p.m. Fred, it's going to be 4 p.m. your time. Don't do that. Trust that adults can do the math. They can convert time zones. That is not the hard part of collaboration. The hard part of collaboration is getting everybody in the room or connected remotely at the same time. A unified clock that reduces confusion, it respects your production, it gets everybody there on time, and it gets everybody out on time. I mentioned that it's important for you to pick one time. So why do I do Eastern? Because Eastern dominates network production and broadcasting. This is not a Sirius XM thing. This is not a CNN thing. This is not a Fox News thing. This is everybody in this industry is working on Eastern time. I follow that lead. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. New York is the historic center of United States broadcasting. Advertisers, agencies, people you're getting press releases from, they are working on Eastern time. Meaning that if somebody gives you a press release or information with an embargo on it, an embargo simply says, don't talk about it before this date, they are working on Eastern time. Stock markets, ratings windows, press cycles, they are on Eastern time. Make your life simple. Don't do the extra math. Work on Eastern time. If you're like me, you know that if I say 6 p.m., oh, that's 5 p.m. Central. Or just set your clock to Eastern time. Be like one of these old school news anchors. Have multiple clocks in the studio. This is my time outside of this studio, but this is my time inside the studio. Or like SiriusXM, just go with one clock. When you walk in the studio, you are on Eastern time. I'll leave you with this. This is something funny that my wife does. The dogs get fed at 11 and 5 standard time. When we switch over to daylight time, their feeding schedule is noon and 6. It's confusing to me. She wants to keep the dogs on the same schedule, not even an hour difference. So, there are different ways to do it. My suggestion is Eastern time. If you got any questions, reach out to me. Feel free. You can find me at bigpodcast.com. And speaking of bigpodcast.com, if you want to subscribe to this podcast, the kids today call it follow. Doesn't matter what you call it, the URL is the same. bigpodcast.com/subscribe. I've made it easy for you to make sure that you never miss an episode of this podcast. Every episode about growing your audience, getting more people to your podcast, making money with your podcast, and making a podcast that people care about. You'll be able to subscribe with just one click at bigpodcast.com/subscribe. Thanks for listening to Big Podcast Playbook. I'll be back soon with another episode, how to grow your podcast, get more people to your podcast, and make money with your podcast. You subscribe, right? bigpodcast.com/subscribe. Well, if you did, you're going to get it automatically. I'll see you next time on Big Podcast Playbook.